Now, I personally use the crow pose or the frog balance with majority of my clients when learning skills like the freestanding handstand, handstand push-ups, press handstand, planches, stool to press, and just balance in general. I think it's a great exercise and it's very underused, especially for people working towards higher skills. And I often find when I take those people back to the crow pose variations, there's some gaps that we need to fill. And once you fill those gaps, it can unlock the harder skills. So today I'm going to take you through all the variations I use. So first of all, let's look at the standard position. Now this is going to be different for everyone depending on limb length, skill, strength, flexibility and things like that. But the main thing that I try and teach here is to try and get the position where it's not too on top of itself. So it's not top heavy, too stacked, because we want to have a position that we can move around and use. So I like to have the hips a little bit lower, the shoulders a little bit further forwards and not stacked on top of each other. So that way we can slowly transition in and out of the position. Now, if you're new to it and you want to learn it, just have tippy toes on the floor. And then over time, once you've gained some strength and some condition just to hold the position, try and lift 1 foot up and then start to lift 2 feet up. And then eventually you'll be able to lift up and down with 2 feet like this. Once we have that position, I then like to teach the seesaw. So the seesaw is when we bring the shoulders and head down and the hips up at the same time. So you get that seesaw effect with the elbows and the hands being the center of the seesaw. Now we can take this all the way down, place the head on the floor and go all the way back to the squat. Obviously you just need to work it within your ability here and not face plant. One option is to start in the headstand and then pull back into the crow. But basically we want to learn how to transition between these 3 positions. So the squat, the crow and the headstand. You could stay in a tucked headstand or you could open up into a straight position. We could then take the standard crow and then add the single leg variations. Now when learning the single leg variations, a common mistake is to take the leg straight back behind you, which then makes you fall back towards the leg direction. So I prefer to teach just taking the leg up and away to start with, not away. And then once you have it, you can take the leg away, but you just have to take the shoulders forwards to compensate for the leg going in the opposite direction. But to start with, if we just look at hovering the knee just off the elbow and lifting the foot up, makes it much easier. We can then play with just holds in that position. We can alternate legs and then eventually be able to alternate between them and even lift both knees off at the same time. And then the fun one, we can obviously go all the way up to handstand. This can be done back to wall. We can do eccentrics. We can work towards this. This is great if you're working for skills like handstand push-ups. And I've got a couple of videos just on that. I'll link them at the end. The straight arm version is great, especially if you're working towards planche positions. It's commonly known as the crane pose in yoga. And I like to teach the 3 different heights. So the straight arm version, your normal crow position, and then what I call the squished crow or the bent arm elbow lever with tucked legs. And it's really cool to be able to transition and hold balance and control between the 3 of those. So start in that top position, lower down to the crow, and then finish in that bottom position. So if you already have a strong crow and you'd like to go to that next level of trying to lower from handstand to it, check out this video. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks guys.